Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara. Kuriakose Elias Chavara was born in 1805 of pious and devout Catholic parents of Syro-Malabar Church at Kainagiri, Kerala, India. After his early schooling in the native village and priestly studies under Father Thomas Palakal at Pallipuram, he was ordained priest in 1829. In 1831, cooperating with Father Thomas Palakal and Father Thomas Porukara, he founded the first indigenous religious congregation for men, now known as the Carmelites of Mary Immaculate, C.M.I. It was after the death of his senior companions in the foundation that Father Kuriakose, together with the first members, made the religious profession in 1855. In religion, he took the name Kuriakose Elias of the Holy Family. Starting 7 religious houses, including the first one at Mananam in different parts of Kerala, the new congregation made great strides in the spiritual renovation of the Syro-Malabar Church. Seminaries for the education and formation of the clergy, introduction of annual retreats for priests and people, a publishing house for the propagation of Catholic doctrine, a house for the dying and destitute, special attention to catechumens, and schools for general education were a few among the various activities of the congregation under Father Kuriakose Elias' leadership. Father Chavara also introduced valuable improvements and reform in the Syro-Malabar liturgy. In 1866, with the cooperation of Father Leopold Bocaro OCD, he started the Congregation of the Mother of Carmel C.M.C. for women. When a schism threatened the church in 1861, Father Kuriakose Elias Chavara, the then Vicar General of the Syro-Malabar Church, took a strong stand and gave effective leadership in thwarting Thomas Rocco's intrusion and saving the church in Kerala from schism. Father Chavara has also written a number of books in prose as well as in verse with unique spiritual vision. His counsel to the Christian families, given in the form of the Testament of a Loving Father, is applicable and relevant to this day. Essentially a man of prayer and intense charity, he lived in close communion with the Lord amidst his several religious and social activities. Owing to his deep spirituality that permeated all his actions, he was accepted and referred to as a man of God from his early years. In 1871, on January 3rd, Father Kuriakose Elias Chavara, after a short but painful illness, passed away at Kunamavu, preserving his baptismal innocence unto death. He was buried at St. Philomena's Church first. Later, his mortal remains were transferred from Kunamavu to Mananam in 1889 and has been reinterred in St. Joseph Monastery Church at Mananam. The dissolution process for his beatification was inaugurated by the Archbishop of Changanaserry on 3rd January 1958 on the request of the late Father Mauro C.M.I., the then Prior General. The Congregation for the Causes of Saints, after having scrutinized the writings of the servant of God and other relevant documents, formally introduced the cause on 15th March 1980. On 7th April 1984, Pope John Paul II solemnly recognized the heroic virtues of the servant of God and elevated him to the status of venerable. On 8th February 1986, during his historic visit to Kottayam, Kerala, Pope John Paul II raised Venerable Kuriakose Elias Chavara to the honors of the altar, declaring him blessed. On 18th March 2014, Pope Francis approved the miracle by signing the decree prepared by the Assembly of Plenary of Cardinals. On 12th June 2014, Pope Francis announced the date of canonization during the celebration of the public consistory at the Vatican on 23rd November 2014. Pope Francis will register Blessed Kuriakose Elias Chavara in the Book of Saints of the Universal Church on 23rd November 2014. He is the patron for the press industry, media, literature, and congregation. Saint Kuriakose Elias Chavara, pray for us. Live Jesus.